What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be doing an album review of Metallica's third studio album, Master of Puppets. Now, as far as the making of this album goes, before I just jump into the track by track, there's not a whole lot to say, and that's because they kind of used Ride the Lightning as kind of a roadmap, kind of a guide of what they wanted to do on their next album, and that's not a negative at all. But with Ride the Lightning, they definitely found their style, they found their groove. In my opinion, they found their own voice. So they just kind of like carried that over into their next album. Um, and like I said, definitely not a negative. It's just kind of what happened, and there's not a lot of backstory. Because these albums are very similar, even though they definitely have their differences. But Ride the Lightning and Master Puppets, in my opinion, are are very similar. They're very two comparable albums, and yeah. Um, but like I said, they definitely have their differences and their similarities. So without further ado, let's just jump into the track by track. This is getting off to a quick start here today, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So the first song on the album is called Battery, and the intro is fantastic. The intro is really, really, really good. Um, the I love how it starts out with the soft kind of acoustic guitar, and then it's got a second acoustic guitar kind of playing like some harmonies above it. It's great, and then it flows really well into this heavier part, and then it goes into the main riff, which is obviously much like Fight Fire with Fire, just very thrash, very fast. Um, as musically goes, just one hell of a way to open up an album. Yeah. The intro, getting back to the intro, is fantastic. It definitely doesn't feel like, here's an acoustic part and like all of a sudden here's a heavy part. It definitely feels like just three um, kind of separate but equal, like, I don't want to say movements, because that kind of means different thing in music, but it's three, like, just organic pieces, like different pieces, until you hit to the main riff. It flows very well. It transitions very well into the main riff. It's a fantastic, fantastic intro. Yeah, it's really great. Um, the lyrics, on the other hand, um, please don't hate me, and don't just dislike the video and leave or whatever. Um, Lyrically, I'm not a big fan of this song at all. Actually, I know what it's about, and actually, when Metallica was first getting started, they used to play at this club on Battery Street, apparently, and so like I get what they were going for, kind of like Whiplash, kind of like just going crazy and about like being metal. Some of these lyrics are kind of confusing though, like cannot kill the family. Like, I don't know. Maybe try to explain it to me. I'm not a big fan of these lyrics, especially for Metallica. I want more. I want more serious lyrics. I want lyrics that kind of make you think. And when you're just talking about just like I said, kind of like Whiplash, just kind of like you know this club we used to play at and we used to go crazy. Like, it's kind of like when a rock band writes a song about rock and roll. It just, depending on the band, like, you know kind of Kiss and ACDC can kind of get away with stuff like that, and I appreciate Kiss and ACDC for what they are, but I want my Metallica to be Metallica. I want my Metallica to be a bit more serious, and I'm just not a big fan of these lyrics. And because of that, I'm just not a big fan of this song. And I know many people are going to be like, the lyrics, like, you know, the music behind it is great. Like, and I get that a lot of people um, don't listen to metal for the lyrics, but I'm definitely one of those people that lyrics and vocals matter, no matter what kind of music I'm listening to, and yeah, just hate me if you want. I'm sorry. um, Kirk offers a pretty good solo um, on here. It's pretty good. I like it. Um, but when I think of this song, I think, wow, what a great intro. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. Moving on, the second song off the album is called Master Puppets, the title track. Fantastic song. One hell of an opener. The intro is obviously just classic, just one of the greatest metal riffs of all time. I mean, just this song is great in so many ways. Kirk offers a great solo. Just shreds, just rips through this guitar solo. It's fantastic. About halfway through, they slow things down unexpectedly, and it gets like really, really melodic and really just awesome. Kirk and James are doing some great guitar things, and then James offers a really, really good solo. I said about halfway through, it's really melodic and really beautiful. Anytime James does a solo, he's really into like melodic solos. On the rare occasion that he does one, um, and it's really, really good. And the transition back to the heavy part, I like how they build it up with Lars just kind of pounding away on the drums, and then you've got, Where's the Dreams That I've Been After. A great way to kind of come back to the heavy part. Just a classic Metallica song, one of the greatest metal songs of all time. What else can you say about it? There is one flaw that I do have with this song is towards the end, it just kind of repeats a bit too much. Um, no matter what happened, I don't know if the band just got excited and said, let's repeat the chorus one more time, or it repeats just a little too much, and you kind of just want the song to end just a bit, but it doesn't, it doesn't drag too long. It could have been cut by just a little bit, but that's not taking away from it. It's a fantastic song. It's a fantastic title track. All right. Third song on the album is called "The Thing That Should Not Be," and this song is very polarizing for a lot of Metallica fans. Some people love it and some people hate it. So, um, unlike Battery, maybe people won't dislike. Maybe people won't hate me for disliking this song, but it's it's okay. It's kind of um, yeah. I guess I'll just jump into it. I like the intro is pretty cool. The main riff is kind of like it. It's kind of that just pounding mid-paced slower sort of riff. I like the very, very beginning of the song before the main riff hits. It sounds like I could be wrong, and I probably am, but it sounds like a baritone acoustic guitar. It's like a lower registered acoustic guitar. It sounds really good, and it leads into the main riff, which I've already talked about. Is pretty good for the most part. It's about like Cthulhu and what lies beneath the sea. It's a and I'm not real big fan of the subject matter, but the rhythm of the song, um, is just kind of like it just kind of drones out, drags out for just a little too long, and then the riff is obviously just kind of like a slow and pounding, and just because of those two things, the longer the song goes on, the more I just get kind of bored with it. Kirk offers a pretty good solo, which I will say is kind of the saving grace on this song, but like I just at the end of listening to the song, I'm just kind of bored. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Decent song, but not one I come back to. All right, next song on the album is called "Welcome Home Sanitarium," and much like "Fade to Black," this is kind of the quote unquote ballad of the album. You know, it starts out soft and then goes to heavier place. The song is really really good. I like the lyrics a lot. It's actually inspired by One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Cuckoo's Nest. It's a movie about just like being mentally disturbed and the things that doctors do to the mentally ill, and to try to make them better, quote unquote, and sometimes just not exactly things that are morally right. It's a really good song. I like this song a lot. Just the way the lyrics are handled. I like when James says "Leave me alone." Like you get the feeling of just like someone who has been treated some way for so long. I mean, to put it mildly, like if someone were to just pick at you and pick at you and pick at you, and then you're just like, leave me alone. He does a great job of just like of interpreting that angst and just kind of this bottled up frustration that you just release. Um, and then I like it's kind of the transition or the send off to Kirk's solo, reaching out again, and then Kirk offers a great wall pedal solo. Um, and once again, much like Fade to Black, I love the last minute or so of the song, um, the instrumental kind of send off. It's great. Just instrumentally, like everyone's on their aim game. Um, just riffs. Lars is doing some great kind of drumming at the end, and everyone's definitely on their A game for this song, at least in my opinion. Fantastic song. All right, next song on the album is called "Disposable Heroes," and this is another pretty good song. Um, it's kind of I'm not a huge fan of it, but I like it. I like it, say, better than the thing that should not be. Um, yeah, it's a pretty good song. It's really fast. Um, I like the lyrics a lot, just about um, how soldiers are treated, and how after like they're dead, they're just kind of like discarded, and you know you can just be seen as another like face in the crowd. I love the verses, how they tell this like progressive story, um, and then at the end, left to die with only friend alone I clench my gun. Just kind of like, this is all I've got left after, this promising like 21-year-old kid. um, you know I you get the sense that like the military doesn't care about him, but hey, he served us well. It's kind of direct quotes from the song, but he served us well. Um, and I love the verses, how it tells this progressive story, and then you get to the bitter end. But yeah, Kirk offers a pretty good solo. It's decent. It's not fantastic or anything. Um, I love the how James just like barks like back to the front. You can practically hear like a drill sergeant saying that, and it's really great. Invokes some great emotion. He does a great job at portraying the story and getting the emotions across that he wants to. Um, but once again, kind of like Master of Puppets, this song goes on for just a bit too long. Yeah, it gets faster towards the end, just because I guess because they can. They're like, hey, let's speed it up. Towards the very end, and they're just like, hey, let's repeat the chorus one more time. And this song could have some fat trimmed off of it, but at the end of the day, it's still a good song. It's still solid. Next song on the album is called Leper Messiah, and I don't generally let you know my feelings about a song too early. I kind of dissect it, but one of the most, if not the most, underrated Metallica song of all time. Fantastic, just absolutely amazing, amazing song, amazing subject matter. Um, about how some pastors are all about greed and money as opposed to like building God's kingdom. It's part of what gives Christianity a bad rap, and it just does a great job at just kind of, you know, I mean, it's it's basically like you could take these words out of a preacher's mouth, or at least out of his head, because some preachers and pastors do think this way, but you know, send me green, make a contribution, and you'll get a better seat. Like, send me money and you'll find heaven. And this is the only way to do it, and things like that. And yeah, fantastic lyrics. Just, I mean, objectively, like whether you're a believer or not, just really good lyrics, and you could definitely see what message he's trying to get across, and in some ways he's not wrong. um, does a really great transition, like almost like right before the solo. See the sheep are gathering, pin the ties, now you follow. Just a great transition. And then Kirk offers a fantastic sweep picking solo, really really fast. Just a great just a great just a great solo, uh, great song. It's, like I said, one of the most underrated Metallica songs, if not the most underrated. Just fantastic song, and it's somewhat forgotten, and it's really sad. All right, next song on the album is the instrumental Orion. And I'm not gonna get too much into Cliff's death, because I'm gonna review that on my Justice album. I'm gonna talk about that on my Justice album. But just in case you kind of, you can't mention this song and not mention, Cliff or his death or whatever. So I'm going to talk about that in my Justice album. Um, my Justice album review. Sorry, I'm repeating myself and getting off track again. Um, Sorry, I'm getting like text messages up top that I'm taking a brief look at. Anyway, they're shooting across my screen. Yeah, Orion. This song is kind of seen as kind of Cliff's baby, because he either wrote the whole song or had a good part. Had a good hand, wrote a good portion of the song. Either way, it's a really good song, and Cliff offers some fantastic parts. Um, one of my favorite parts of the song, if not my favorite part, is the first bass solo that he does. Like a minute, 2 minutes into the song, something like that. Either way, it's fantastic. Cliff offers, like I said, he offers some great bass playing, some great moments on this song, and you could kind of see why this is Cliff's song. But also some great guitar work. Kirk offers some pretty good solos um, on this song, and for an instrumental, yeah, it's pretty damn good. I like it. All right, so the last song on the album is called Damage Incorporated, and this is kind of in the same vein as Battery to me. Um, I think the guitar swells, or whatever you want to call them, at the very beginning just last a little too long before they get into like the main riff, and the the actual intro. It's kind of like, okay, come on, we've kind of heard this like distant echo for I don't know how long, and then it's like, okay, now the song could start. I feel that every time I listen to this song. Like I said, it's kind of in the same vein as Battery. The lyrics are just kind of meh to me. Being a big lyric guy, I'm sorry, and I know, if you guys have made it to this part in the review and haven't left yet, kudos to you, because I didn't have great things to say about Battery. But yeah, I'm just not a big fan of this song, because of the lyrics. I'm sorry. Um, I do like, following our instinct, not a trend. Like, I love that, and I think that's what Metallica has, to some degree, kind of always stood for, and I love that. I love that line, and fuck it all and fucking no regrets. I like that. I like that line too. Um, but other than that, lyrically, it does nothing for me. Kirk offers a fantastic solo. I mean, that is not to be taken away, from what I've already said about the song. He offers a fantastic solo. It's definitely a highlight, for me on this album. Sometimes I'll listen to this song just to listen to the solo. Like, I love, love, love this solo, y'all. It's so good. Yeah. And it kind of saves the song for me just a bit. Um, so yeah, that's my thoughts on Master Puppets. Yeah. Um, I would understand if you would completely disagree with me on some of my opinions on this album. Because this is seen as like, some people see this as like a 10 out of 10, um, like Metallica album, and any ranking of Metallica albums that I look at, it's either this album is like either people's favorite or people's second favorite, and as you can tell, it wouldn't be my first or second favorite either way. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are going to dislike this video, and as the diehard Metallica fans that we all are, I could understand why you would. But leave a comment. Tell me why I'm dead wrong, and let's have a conversation about it. Yeah, let's you know let's let's talk about music, in a in a somewhat, civil manner. But just like I said, like, if you're going to dislike this video based on like my thoughts on Battery, or my thoughts on Damage, just leave a comment. Just be like, this is why I think you're wrong. Like, just don't leave a dislike and just leave. I don't know. That's how I'd prefer it. Like I said, like, I'm not mad just because I get your point, but just tell me why I'm wrong. Like, let's talk about it. Let's have some fun. Anyway, I've been rambling on. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and God bless you guys. Bye bye.